I didn't realise until later in life that when I was baking, because my mum taught me to bake as a kid, that had someone have told me when I was in school that baking recipes were the same as formulas for science,
Maths, exactly.
I would have got it. No one ever put the two together, but they're conversations that you can have around that. Absolutely, yeah, love that. Now, Kelly Lee said, such a great memory baking with my siblings when I was younger, now turned into my business. So, and got another great message here as my screen disappears on me.
I saw that as well. When I first arrived in Australia as an international student, I lived in student housing with 5 girls from Malaysia and Singapore. I can already imagine where this is going. So one day the girls were brave enough to ask why I never spent time with them on the weekends. And they asked if that weekend I could join them for dinner. So she came back from her uncle's on Saturday to find a busy kitchen, great smells. Everyone had prepared their favourite dishes and they had a feast particularly for her. Her heart melted and it was a beautiful experience. After that, she spent most weekends with them. I'd be spending most weekends with them as well.
That's awesome. Thank you,
Southeast Asian flavours,
yeah.
delicious, and well done for trusting in your flatmates.
Yeah, very much so. Now, I want you to tell me, we were just having a good laugh on
We
air.
were.
Tell me about your son's story.
So my son left for university and we had been living in the North Island of New Zealand in Auckland, and he went down to Christchurch and he was flatting there, and some of the guys that came around for this particular dinner were from Southland, so deep south of New Zealand, and real farm boys, and that's where they'd sort of grown up and that was their culture. And my son, of course, had done a lot of cooking with me and we cook all sorts of different food. So he rang me up and he said, I'm just going to make a risotto. So I'm just checking I'm going to do it right. And he was fine. So the next day he rang and he said, I made the risotto and it was fantastic. But the boys from Southland had no idea what risotto was. So they got flatbread and put the risotto in the flatbread, covered it with mayonnaise and rolled it up and ate it like kind of some sort of burrito.
That's gold.
And he said, I think I'm quite multicultural, Mum. That was a great story. And we were actually just reflecting on it yesterday when I was talking to him on the phone about coming on air with you today. And that was something we had a really good laugh over.
I know. Food brings out the memories. It brings out some fantastic memories. Now, we need to wind this up, but you have a food blog which you've rebooted.
I have rebooted.
Tell me about that quickly.
So it still has a New Zealand handle, so sorry to everyone in Australia, but it's vanessabaxter.co.nz or thefearlesskitchen.co.nz. And on there are some recipes, and they are some that have actually been taken from my cookbook, which was published back in 2017. And I've started a food blog because I was really inspired when we had a chat and decided to start this food program together, Doug. So there's a food blog on there. I hope people enjoy reading it. It would be fantastic if you follow me. And I have an Instagram as well, which is Vanessa Baxter NZ.
Yep.
So please follow me on there because I'll be starting to post a lot more there.